Hey, Wallace Nelson with you today. We want to talk about how bad product labels are damaging your health and could be damaging your business. This is a huge deal that we don't see talked about very often, but there are massive dangers in bad product labels, and the market is full of bad product labels. We don't want you to face any of the negatives that come with them. So we're going to break it down today, tell you what to watch out for, and tell you how to keep yourself and your business safe. So when we take a look at bad labels on nutritional supplement products and skincare products, we see dangers that exist in a couple different ways. Dangers that exist for consumers and dangers that exist for professionals in their businesses. Because mistakes with product labels aren't just a small thing. Mistakes can cause some really big issues. They can make you sick. If a mistake on a product label leads to an allergen being present that you're not aware of because the ingredient list is wrong, if a mistake on a label leads to you consuming too much or too little of a specific ingredient without knowing about it, your health can actually be at risk. And in addition to that, mistakes on labels can cost you your goals. We know that a lot of you are really engaged in making positive changes in your life. You're dieting, you're working out, you're doing all these different things, and you're being very dedicated and cerebral about it. If someone has not taken the care to make sure that their product labeling is right, you may actually be over-consuming or under-consuming on really important nutrients to your process because of their negligence that are actually going to cost you the results you're working so hard and suffering for, and we never want that to happen. And if you are a business, make no mistake about it. Bad product labels can actually shut you down. They can get regulators in your office that will close down your entire operation, really due through no fault of your own because someone that you trusted was negligent. I think it's important maybe to tell a little bit of a horror story about that because it's something that we've seen happen more and more routinely. It is that your local health department, if you are in the wellness business, actually can come in, and if you are displaying products on your shelves that have non-compliant labels that are not up to date with the ever-changing regulation, they are able to they won't even seize that product. What you'll wish they would do is just take that product and take it out of your business, but they don't do that. What they do is they leave that product in place on your shelf and they yellow tape your entire product retail area. So you are open for business, but every one of your clients that comes in sees a yellow tape with a restrictive letter from your Department of Health saying you are not allowed to move or to sell any of that product there. It leaves a terrible impression on your clients. They're looking and they completely lose faith in your ability to protect them with the choices that you're making within your business. So it is vitally important that you are 100% sure you are investing in partnerships with product companies where they are going to be protecting you and your business with their labeling practices. So let's talk a little bit about some of these things. As I said, your health can potentially be at risk with bad labels. There has been a lot of changes with labeling. I always would go through and say, you know what, especially in the nutritional supplement market, for a number of years, nutritional supplements have been like the wild west. There was almost no regulation placed on nutritional supplements by the FDA. If we were to equate it to something, it really was basically just like the regulations that are on the local burger joint down the street, right? As long as those supplements were being produced in a relatively clean area, and you weren't putting anything knowingly super harmful into it, they did not ask for anything else when they came out and did an inspection with the FDA. I say relatively clean because even that cleanliness was grossly insufficient. In fact, we joke a lot of times that the old rules of the FDA allowed a certain number of rodent hairs to be present in your bottle of supplements without it being any issue at all. And that number was 2. Like, stop and think about that. The FDA was A-okay up until a couple years ago with you having 2 rat hairs in your product. They thought that was no problem. I think that's disgusting. My personal number is 0. I hope out of your own self-respect your number is 0 too, and you don't want any rodent hairs in your products, but that is all that has had to happen in the past with manufacturers. They did not have your best interests at heart almost all the time and put a lot of really crappy products out, which is unfortunate because you and all the customers you might be serving were subjected to a lot of these crappy products, and we want to make sure that we're saving you from that. There was a real change that kicked off a couple of years ago, and the instigator for this change was that the Attorney General of New York actually held a press conference. They came out and they issued a cease and desist on 4 of the largest retailers in New York State. That was Target, Walmart, Walgreens, and CVS. And the reason they issued this cease and desist was that they actually had gone in and done a sting operation, an undercover operation, where they bought supplements off the shelves of each of those companies and had them tested every way possible to determine what was in those products and whether the labeling was accurate. You know, they went all the way down to DNA testing the ingredients. And shockingly for most, not shockingly for us at all, because we understand how many bad operators there are in the supplement business, but shockingly for most, they found that 80% of the tested products had none of the active ingredients in them. This is absolute straight fraud. It's not saying, oh, you know what, they weren't very high quality ingredients, or the ingredients weren't presented in such a way that they were digested very well. It was none of that at all. They absolutely were lying about what was even in the bottle. So none of the active ingredients were in there. In their place, they had things like asparagus and carrots and houseplant, like somebody's putting houseplants in your supplements, which is absurd, but exposes you to a lot of dangers by those labels being fraudulently incorrect. So because of that, there's been new regulation that's come into place in 2017, 2018, and 2019 by the FDA, where they absolutely do care if your product label is right, and they are actively going out and hunting product labels that are wrong, which is why you and your business can get caught in a situation where you have bad labeled product on the shelf and they can come and shut you down. They rely on the local health departments to enforce that for them, so you'll get your normal visit by your inspector, and in the past where they've only looked at your pedicure bowls to see if you were following proper procedure there, they're going to take a look at the labels of what's on your shelves, and if they are wrong, you can be shut down. We don't want any of you to go that route. So, you know, what we see is now when they're inspecting, when they come in and inspect a lab, when they come in and, sorry, I was just taking a look at a note on a question we'll answer in just one second. When they come in and inspect a lab, they aren't just checking to make sure that the cleanliness is happening right, but they actually are going in and they're checking labels. So hopefully, unfortunately it's kind of a long process, but hopefully over the next couple of years, we'll see all the bad actors weeded out. Any of you competitors that are out there, and I know a few of you are on here right now, any of you out there that I know have bad labels, they are coming for you. Fix them now, because you will not be able to mislead people and have crappy labels on your product for very long. You will get caught and you will get shut down. So please fix those now. As an offer to any of you, whether a competitor, whether a business, whether a consumer, if you have a product label that you are unsure of and you have some questions, as always, please feel free to send it over. Chat with us, chat with our amazing sales education team, and they have the resources to be able to help you look at a label and see if there are any areas of concern that need to be addressed there so that you're protected and safe. I'm going to show you guys, this is actually a label just to show you how wrong stuff can be. I normally don't like to call people out, but this is a company that we've tried to help. This is a company that has one of the worst nutritional labels I have ever seen on a product that they just launched. We saw it the day that they launched. I reached out, I asked them if I could help them, and they blew me off, which kind of bugged me because I was just trying to help. And I reached out again and again and again over a period of 4 or 5 weeks because they have a lot of people that trust them. That's one thing that happens when you put yourself out there as an expert in health and wellness, when you put yourself out there as an influencer, you are not just taking the money that comes with that, you actually are also taking on you the responsibility to not mislead the people who place their trust in you. And it bothers me when people don't take that responsibility seriously. I want to help. And these guys, I still want to help them. Like I've asked a bunch of times, they're blowing me off. They don't seem to care whether they're putting out bad information to you or not. I still want to help them. So if any of you know these guys and you want them to talk to me, I still would love to help. But this is the kind of crap that we don't want to see. So what we actually see here is a vanilla cream protein. And if you can see, there are so many huge problems on this label. First and foremost, you can see that this is actually a protein supplement. It's claiming 20 grams of protein. But if we take a look at the ingredients here, it doesn't even list the protein in the ingredients. So we're told it's a whey isolate, but it needs to be listed here exactly what that is. What if you have an allergy that actually does not get along with a specific type of whey protein they're using here in here? What if this is actually a danger to your health and they haven't even mentioned what it is? We know that we have problems in the serving size on this. It's showing 25 grams, yet we're actually showing 20 grams of protein plus 6 grams of carbohydrates. That's 26 grams right there. Not to mention there is no such thing as 100% pure protein. So this 20 grams really is probably more like something like 24, 26. They are off right here, which means your serving sizes are off, which means the benefit of the grams you're getting. This is a company that actually talks about the importance of tracking your macros and knowing exactly what level of protein you're taking in, and they are throwing you off with their very own branded product because they have not been careful about this. I should take them off the hook a little bit and say they are not product experts, but what they've done is they have trusted someone that gave them bad information and have not been willing to do the due diligence to fix it, which I think is their responsibility to make sure this is fixed. I hope they care soon in order to put this together. We're seeing tons of problems like no actual daily values claimed for fat. There absolutely are. That is required information on here. We don't see vitamin forms actually listed. We don't see the actual proper claimed percentage of vitamins listed here. There are just so many huge problems as we see here with the sodium, all different sorts of things. We see 6 grams of carbohydrates with 4 grams of sugar, which means there should be 2 more grams of carbohydrates, yet we see nothing but cane sugar listed down here in the carbohydrates on the ingredients. So I don't know all the problems that exist with this because I don't have the full formulation, but what I can tell you is this is wrong and it's misleading people and it's potentially dangerous to people. Products like this we want to either see fixed or we want to see them where they belong, which is in the trash. It is time to demand more, both as consumers and professionals, from the companies that are serving you and in which you're placing your trust. And we want to see those things right. So we want to be part of that solution. You guys need to let us know how we can help you, what we can help you take a look at. We have invested massive amounts of money in the last year and change at our lab here in Utah in the products that we produce across our entire Melise line to make sure that we are doing our best to comply not only with existing FDA standards on labeling, but all of the future standards coming down the line to make sure we're protecting you as a business, to make sure we're serving you fully as a consumer and getting you all the information that you need to stay safe, stay healthy, and reach your goals. As I said, with your business, it's not the wild, wild west anymore. There is a new sheriff in town, and the FDA cares that your products are labeled properly. And it's not just the manufacturers that actually share responsibility in this. You as a professional take on the responsibility to make sure that your labeling is correct and is giving the needed information to the people that entrust you as a provider of products and services. So make sure that you are working with a brand that is absolutely dedicated to the safety of you as a business and absolutely dedicated to the safety of you as a consumer in making sure that their products are labeled properly. As I said, we have made a huge investment in this. We've spent time directly with the FDA. We spent time with testing labs to an absurd degree to make sure that not only are we building the products that have the best ingredients, not only are we building products that have the most potent and effective actions for you in your health goals, but that we also are producing products with the best, most compliant labeling to give you the information you need and to protect you and your business. So if you're sketchy about the professional products you're dealing with, if you're not sure that they're providing you the protection and support that you need, we would love a chance to take a look at those labels. We would love a chance to give you an alternative of a company that absolutely is dedicated to you, to your safety of yourself, your health, and your business. Was there a question you're asking?
Yeah, will you address why our products are on Amazon?
Why are products on Amazon? We actually are doing a lot of things working to control some of the Amazon market. Unfortunately, as you know, Amazon, anybody can sell. So we sort of routinely are going to root out individuals who may be buying products as a professional, as a wellness professional, and then turning around and putting those up for sale on Amazon. So we are not selling on Amazon, but there are thousands of people that professionally buy the products, and some of them are putting them on. We do our best to go in and protect that, and are actually taking active efforts to find a way that we can work with Amazon to control that market even better. So know that it's a tricky situation, but it's one that we are well aware of and are doing our best to protect each of you as spa professionals in. Is there any other questions we wanted to pick up? Okay, well, thank you all so much. We love having you in here for the deep dives. We do these at least almost every single Monday morning, and would love to cover topics that are of interest to you with your health, with your wellness, anything having to relate to natural health and beauty. We love to talk about these things, so please always feel free to reach out for us for any help, any education you need, and any ideas that you have on topics you would like us to take a deep dive on and expose myths, fallacies, and bad actors in the industry. Thank you.